This is the Dr. Doom Ultimate Survival Aircraft. My name is Flocka, and today I'm going to show you how to build one of these things with 14 chests of storage, as well as a launch pad mechanism that you can use on the ground or in the air. Style or storage, it doesn't get any better than the Dr. Doom Survival Aircraft. If you've enjoyed this series or you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on, and let's get right into this video. To start off the ultimate Dr. Doom Survival Aircraft, you're gonna need some frost pine floors, and we're gonna take two 12x2s and slap those right on top, and we're gonna actually stack 3 of those just like this. If you take your mouse or your controller, whatever you're using, and you use the nudge feature, it should put the next 12x2 up to the side, right where you need it to be. You're gonna stack 3 on both sides. On what we're gonna call the back side, we're gonna put some more 12x2s. So we're gonna stack 3 just like this. Take 16x2 frost pine floors, and on the end of what looks like the wings, you're gonna place these right in the center so that there's an even amount of room on both sides. You might have to nudge it over 1 stud. The snap system brings it over a stud, so it looks like I have to move it. Same thing on the back side, I'm gonna move it back 1 stud, and that way there's an even amount of room on each side hanging off. This is gonna be the body of our aircraft. We're gonna take the Doom coffee table, and right where these pieces intersect, we're gonna place one just like this. So the green stripe should run right over the top of that frost pine floor in the middle. And you're gonna place these on the ends, just like you see me doing here. And you're gonna place 2 on both sides like this, so you make a T with the Doom coffee tables. I try to do my best explaining this stuff in tutorials. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to help down in the comments. That being said, we're gonna move along here and place the rest of the Doom coffee tables. There's quite a few more of these to go on. We're gonna place 1 in the center like this, and you're gonna place 1 on each side hanging over. To get the other coffee tables on, we first have to put on our thrusters. So these ones are gonna be for turning. We're gonna go ahead and throw one on each corner here, just like this. You can go ahead and do the channels for this right away. So whatever channels that you put them to, make sure you just alternate them as you go around. That way you can get your 0-point turning. So for me, this is channel 1. That makes this one channel 2. That makes the back one on the right channel 1, and the one right next to it channel 2. To get the next few tables on, we're going to be using some directional building. So if you haven't done this before, there's a couple ways to do this. It can get a little bit tricky if you're trying to do it with floors though. So let's say you want to place a floor that faces outward here. You have to first place the thruster down and hanging over where you want it to place, and you need to get a floor down behind where you want to place it. So if you want to place a floor on top of the side here, you're going to have to place that thruster down to get the floor behind it. So now I can go ahead and place this floor where I want it. I can go ahead and get rid of this floor, and the floor that I place will stay as long as it's touching any other pieces. That isn't the building technique we're going to be using though for this. For this specific directional build to get the coffee tables on. Hold up 1 sec. Let's go to sleep real quick. Like I was about to say, for this directional building, we're going to be putting a small thruster on both sides like this, right in the middle. Then we're going to take the Doom coffee table, and we're going to point our cursor right at the very end here, and it will go green if we find a good spot. So you have to bring it down 1, and we're going to go over as far as it'll let us. And then from this side, you can just do the same thing, using the thruster to go over as far as you can. Make sure you go ahead and do it on the other side, being very careful and making sure that you're placing them in the exact same spots that you do on the other side so that everything is nice and even. Go ahead and give your ship a walk around right now. Make sure that you have all the pieces in place. This is what it should look like so far, and this is what it's gonna look like when we're done. But we don't wanna get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and take this step by step. The next step being the inside coffee tables that we need to get on here. So to do that, I'm just gonna add an extra floor right here. We're gonna add an extra one like this. That way we can fit on a thruster. We're gonna take our Doom coffee table, and we're gonna slide one here on the side. it should hang over the edge, and it actually should hang over the outside one by a stud. So the outside one moved down 1 stud, and the one on the inside is going to move down an extra stud. Make sure you go do that on the other side. Move it as far over as you can before placing the piece down. And I want to go ahead and do that to the other side. So I'm just going to place my floor pieces underneath like this. Stack 2 of them. That way we can get our thruster underneath and it not bother where we're placing our pieces. We're going to go ahead and point our cursor at the inside of that thruster, just like this. We're going to move over as far as it will let me. We're going to move it up as far as it'll let me. And we're going to place one of the tables. And from here, if I keep my cursor pointed at the thruster, it should allow me to just move it over. And that way I can just move it over as far as it'll let me go. And we'll just place this and it'll automatically be lined up the same. Go ahead and get rid of the excess pieces. And we now have all the surface area that we're gonna need to operate this aircraft. Hold your horses though, because we do have a little bit of directional building left to go. We're actually going to use the large thruster for this one because this one's actually just going to stay on. So we're going to place a large thruster on the back side and it's going to be right down the center. We're going to take the doom throne. We're going to point it at this thruster and we're going to move it so that it's down like this, not hanging over the top. We're going to move it down and over the edge by 1 stud. And we're going to go like this. Make sure that it's just hanging over that bottom. And then over the edge 1 stud like that. So the back of the aircraft looks like this. And we've already got 1 thruster in place in order to get us some forward momentum on this aircraft. We need some more thrust though, so we're gonna go inside right here and we're actually gonna add the rest of that. So we're gonna place 1 thruster right here and 1 thruster right here on the inside. And then we're gonna take 2 smalls and we're gonna place them right next to those large ones. So it should look like that. That's perfect. After the update, this is gonna be an even larger chest, but for now, we're gonna throw the grand chest or any storage that you wanna put on, and we're gonna place these so that they are flush with the top of the coffee tables. We're gonna do that for all of these side ones, even the outside ones as well. So we're gonna place 1 chest in the middle here, obviously lining it up with the tables just like we have before. And we're gonna place 6 of them on the top here. And that is going to complete the storage of the survival aircraft. I'm actually gonna go ahead and add my preferred lights here. These ones are actually free, the Tatooine wall beacons. You point them at the corner of the floor and at the bottom here, near this back inside chest. You can actually nudge over and it should turn green on both sides. And I'll actually place 4 of them on the outside like this, 2 on each side. We're gonna take the Doom console and we're gonna line it up with the green line on this back coffee table. And we're gonna nudge it back 1 stud like this. And we're gonna place that just like that. I'm also gonna add in a pressure plate right here. I'm gonna place a small balloon right in front of it. It doesn't really matter where, but I'm gonna point an activated balloon at this balloon that I just placed. And if you do it right, you should find the balloon going halfway across the balloon at any given point. You've just unlocked the half stud placement. You're gonna move it over to the middle of that pressure plate. You're gonna change both of these to channel 1 so that they're tuned into the turning. And that way, you can actually use this as a launch mechanism at any point in time. Now it's gonna activate your turning thrusters because we don't have enough channels, but to do a live demonstration on how this doesn't really affect anything, I'll actually show you here. So if I step on, you can see that the ship doesn't move when it's docked on the ground. And then all I have to do is give it a little bit of a jump and we're immediately launched into the air. So I just thought I'd add that as an extra bonus. Feel free to skip that if you want. For the front end of the vehicle, we're gonna take 12x2s, but instead of just nudging them up against the pieces that we have already placed, we're gonna bring it to the front 2 studs like this, and we're gonna just place down 2 of those. So you're gonna place 1 underneath. The front end uses a little bit of directional building, and to do that, we're just gonna take any like floor or wall piece, and we're gonna place it on the end here. And using that, we're gonna place a small thruster somewhere towards the top of that wall. And then we're gonna take our Doom Forge, point our cursor at that thruster. We're gonna rotate it so that it looks like this. And if you're pointing your cursor at the right spot, it should go green. And you're gonna go one stud away from each side. So if you do one on one side, it should come out to one on the other side, just like this. Go ahead and destroy the pillar that you used to get that piece on. And from here, we're actually just gonna place a couple of Doom coffee tables right here, side by side. This is gonna be the spot for our steering wheel. For a steering wheel, you guys know I always like to go with the small driver's seat. We're just gonna place it in the middle of those coffee tables. And we're gonna take an angled light bar, and this is what we're gonna use for our light. And we're just gonna go as close as we can right here and to the inside. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side as well. So we're gonna place it on the floor and then move it as far in as it'll let me. And on the outside, we're gonna take the Doom anvil and we're gonna place it hanging over the edge like this. Do the same thing on the other side. So hang it over like this. And from the front, this is what your aircraft looks like so far. We've got all of our thrusters on. We've got the turning thrusters adjusted. There's only really one more thing to do, and that's add the balloons and take it for a test flight. I've already gone ahead and figured out the balloon pattern for the most part. So where you're gonna wanna place these large activated balloons is 2 studs away on the end from the end of this coffee table, or 2 studs away from the chest. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. These are gonna be channel 4. You're gonna wanna keep it as channel 4 automatically. On the back, on the inside, go ahead and place 2 more vehicle lights just like this. And we're gonna take activated balloons to the corner of these floor pieces. And then we're gonna add some activated balloons to the front. You can actually place them on top of the anvil, so that is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna be placing them on the inside stud of those anvils as far forward as we can. And this is literally the aircraft. You can go ahead and throw large activated balloons in these spots as well. They also will work, and you'll get a little bit more height. We can maybe go in and add some extra seating right here and still be able to reach the storage. So we're gonna go ahead and sit in the driver's seat. We're gonna activate our balloons to test out the lift. And like I said, whoa, there's a tree there. But like I said earlier, I kind of already tested out the lift. And just to show you guys that I think maybe you can use this while in the air. I think it's gonna do a 360 turn once I do though. I can use this as sort of a launch pad and then come back down to the aircraft. So yes, it's gonna do a little spin, but because we set it up with 0-point turning, it's still gonna stay in place. And when it's on the ground, it actually just doesn't even move. Like, there's not enough thrust to get this to move because there's no tires. This thing looks sick. And the 14 chests of storage, don't even get me started. An absolute tank. You're gonna be able to store all of your tools in one chest, and then you're gonna have 13 more chests to fill up with loot. And not only that, but it looks stylish. It's not just looking like a block of chests. It really does look like a cool aircraft. I'm really excited for this upcoming update. These Doom pieces brought a lot of possibilities into the game, and the set is only a 3rd released, which is absolutely insane. But we'll be getting new pieces with the new Lost Isles update, and that means more themed aircraft, themed houses, themed builds from your boy Flocka. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you never miss another upload. Take it easy, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.